Most men misunderstand avoidant people. They think distance means disinterest. They assume silence means rejection. They believe mixed signals mean there's no real feeling there. But here's the strange part. When an avoidant person actually develops deep feelings, their behavior often looks the opposite of love. They pull away. They hesitate. They act confusing. And if you don't understand the psychology behind it, you might walk away from someone who actually cares about you more than you realize. Because when an avoidant loves you, they rarely say it. They show it in very subtle ways. Many men experience this situation. Everything starts well. There's chemistry, good conversations, moments that feel genuine. Then suddenly, she becomes distant. She replies slower. She cancels plans sometimes. She seems warm one day and cold the next. Naturally, most men interpret this as a loss of attraction, so they either become needy and chase harder or emotionally shut down and walk away. But with avoidant personalities, something very different is happening beneath the surface. Avoidant people value independence deeply. Closeness can feel overwhelming to them, so when they start developing real emotional attachment, their nervous system sometimes reacts with distance. Not because they don't care, but because caring feels intense. Understanding this difference can completely change how you interpret their behavior. To understand avoidant behavior, you need to understand attachment dynamics. Avoidant individuals usually learned early in life that emotional closeness was unpredictable or overwhelming, so they adapted by becoming self-reliant. They became comfortable handling things alone. They learned to regulate emotions without depending on others. This creates a paradox in relationships. They want connection, but too much closeness can trigger discomfort. So when real feelings begin to grow, two systems activate at the same time. One part wants intimacy, the other part wants distance. This is why avoidant behavior often looks inconsistent. But if you look closely, their actions reveal something deeper. And there are specific patterns that often appear when an avoidant person actually cares about you. 1. They keep coming back. Avoidants often create distance. But when they genuinely care about someone, they always find their way back. Maybe they disappear for a few days. Maybe conversations slow down for a while. But eventually they reconnect. Not dramatically, not emotionally, just naturally. A message, a small check-in, a casual conversation starter. This happens because their feelings never actually disappear. They just needed space to regulate their emotions. For example, you stop texting for a few days. Then suddenly she sends a message like, "Hey, how's your week going?" It might seem simple, but for an avoidant personality, that reconnection is meaningful because they rarely reach out unless someone matters to them. 2. They share small personal details. Avoidants rarely open up quickly. They protect their emotional space. So when they begin sharing small personal details, it's a significant sign of trust. They might talk about something stressful at work, a childhood memory, a random thought they had during the day. These moments might seem casual, but psychologically they represent emotional vulnerability. For someone with avoidant tendencies, vulnerability feels risky, so they reveal it slowly, in small pieces. For example, during a conversation she might say, "I don't usually talk about this," but that sentence alone reveals something important. It means she feels safe enough with you to let her guard down, even if only slightly. 3. They observe you carefully. Avoidants are often quiet observers. They may not constantly express affection, but they pay attention. They remember small details, your favorite food, the way you react to certain situations, things you mentioned weeks ago. Then one day they reference it casually. Something like, "You said you liked that restaurant, right?" Or, "You seemed stressed about that meeting. How did it go?" This type of awareness shows emotional investment because avoidants usually conserve emotional energy. If they're paying attention to your life, it means you matter to them. 4. They test emotional safety. Avoidants rarely rush into deep emotional connection. Instead, they test the environment first. They watch how you react to small emotional signals. For example, they might share something slightly personal, then observe your reaction. Do you pressure them? Do you overanalyze it? Do you respond calmly? Your response tells them whether emotional closeness feels safe. If they sense stability and patience, they gradually open up more. But if they feel pressure or emotional intensity, they retreat again. This is why calm masculine presence is powerful with avoidance. It creates emotional space without forcing vulnerability. 5. They show care through actions, not words. Avoidant personalities often struggle with verbal expressions of emotion. They may not say things like, "I miss you," "I'm thinking about you," but they often show care through actions. Small supportive gestures, checking if you arrived home safely, sending something they thought you'd like, helping with practical things. For example, you mention you're tired after work. Later that evening, she might send a simple message, "Make sure you get some rest tonight." It's subtle. The deeper truth about avoidant attachment is this: they don't fear love, they fear losing themselves inside it. Closeness can feel like pressure, expectations can feel overwhelming, so their instinct is to maintain emotional balance. This is why chasing them aggressively usually backfires. Pressure increases their instinct to create distance, but calm confidence does the opposite. When a man is emotionally grounded, patient, and secure in himself, it allows avoidance to experience connection without feeling trapped. Attraction in these dynamics isn't created through intensity, it's created through emotional stability, a quiet presence, no pressure, no emotional chaos, just steady confidence. And when avoidants feel that kind of emotional safety, they slowly move closer. Avoidant behavior can look confusing on the surface. Distance, mixed signals, moments of silence. But beneath that behavior is often someone navigating their own emotional wiring. Someone who wants connection, but moves toward it carefully. When you understand these patterns, you stop reacting emotionally to every shift in behavior. You become calmer, more observant, more emotionally intelligent. And something interesting happens. The relationship begins to feel less like a puzzle and more like a quiet unfolding of trust. Because sometimes the people who struggle most with expressing love are the ones who feel it the deepest.